It looks cheap and gaudy and is just all over the place. There's way too many accessories. I hate it. Hi there, my name is Tessa and I love talking about the Met Gala. For anyone unfamiliar, the Met Gala is an annual fundraising event for the Metropolitan Museum's Costume Institute, with the dress code of each year's event relating to the exhibit. In 2017, the theme was Rei Kawakubo, Art of the In-Between, which was a celebration of the legendary designer's entire career. Because the Met Gala is an incredibly popular event, I can't talk about every single person who attended, so my apologies if I forgot your favorite, but just leave a comment down below and I'll try to respond. Also, it has to be said that this is just my opinion and it's totally fine if we disagree. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna start with Anna Wintour in Chanel. This kind of reminds me of what she wore to the 2015 Met Gala, but worse. I really do not like the kaleidoscopic gold or the feathers. Next is B. Schaefer in Alexander McQueen. Just like her mother, she's a creature of habit, but at least she looks good. But I am confused as to how this dress relates to the theme. Next is Gigi Hadid in Tommy Hilfiger. This is so fabulous. I love how it takes a more literal approach to Rei Kawakubo's androgyny, where it's very obvious that one half of this is more masculine and the other half is more feminine. And I love that there's just a dash of Japanese inspiration. Overall, just very sexy and fun, and I love it. Next is Bella Hadid and Alexander Wang. The texture and the cutout in the back is very interesting, but I just don't really love seeing cat suits at the Met Gala. I don't really know why. It just always reads as more pop star performance attire as opposed to Met Gala. Next is Hailey Bieber in Carolina Herrera. This just feels kind of boring. It's a lot of beige and the skirt just looks like a bunch of tutus that you've stacked on top of each other. And as a whole, it just looks very of its time. Next is Blake Lively in Versace. She loves this sort of fitted mermaid dress. It's basically all she ever wears to the Met Gala. I will admit that the draped gold is very, very pretty, but it doesn't really scream Rei Kawakubo, which I think is because of the color palette. I feel like if instead of gold they'd done silver or black, which kind of faded into a navy, it might have read a little bit better. Next is Rita Ora in Marchesa. This feels very Comme des Garçons with the interwoven textiles and the giant bows, and even her hair is an homage to the brand's unusual styling. Next is Thandie Newton in Monse. Red makes frequent appearances in Rei's designs, so a lot of celebrities opted for that color at the Met Gala. I personally am not a huge fan of the dress. It just looks a little bit messy, and I feel like the look as a whole just isn't very cohesive. Next is Kate Hudson in Stella McCartney. The dress itself is very ordinary. It's white, it's asymmetrical. There's really nothing to write home about. I know a lot of people didn't like her styling, specifically the top bun, but that's actually a reference to Comme des Garçons. Next is Lily James in Burberry. The white polka dots with the black accents does feel very appropriate, and I really like the sort of asymmetric bow on the back. My only thing is I don't love the black choker, and that's only because of the way that her hair is styled. It just kind of makes her face kind of disappear. Next is Cynthia Erivo in Thom Browne. So Cynthia is quite petite. I think she's barely 5 foot tall. And I feel like in this dress, you can really tell, like all the fabric is just swallowing her up, which is a shame because I think that this is a great homage to Rei's designs. Next is Olivia Cooke in Burberry. This is very simple, but I really like it. There's something about this that reminds me a lot of Comme des Garçons, just very feminine, which I think is a perfect fit for this theme, and I would definitely wear this. Next is Janelle Monáe in Ralph and Russo. I don't love the filigree on the bust, it just looks a little bit cheap, and even though the shape itself is interesting, she does kind of look like she's drowning in it. Next is Grimes in Proenza Schuler. I honestly think that this is the first year she hasn't looked like a complete mess. The black trim is edgy but still delicate, and I just like all of the simple, clean lines. Next is Haley Steinfeld in Vera Wang. I can see where the CDG influence is, but I don't think it worked out the way that they intended. And I just don't love how much of her legs I'm seeing. Next is Miranda Kerr in Oscar de la Renta. I love the volume and structure of this ball gown. It feels very classic Oscar de la Renta, but the pattern feels very Rei Kawakubo. Next is Ashley Graham in H&M. I feel like she did the impossible and managed to make H&M look expensive. It fits her like a glove, the color really pops, and I really like the 3D ruffle detail. It's obviously inspired by Rei's designs, but it feels a little bit new. Next is Nicki Minaj in H&M. Okay, H&M, you guys did pretty well this year. Besides the design itself looking like a sexier version of what Rei Kawakubo would design, I also really like how they've incorporated her silhouette into the belt. It's just a fun, cute little detail that's really easy to miss. And I've got to say, this is really creative for fast fashion. Next is Emma Roberts in Diane von Furstenberg. I do not like the fur stole. I feel like it makes it look like she's going to prom or something. A lot of people wound up doing red, and I just would have loved to see this in maybe navy or white, just to make it a little bit different. Next is Solange in Tom Brown. This is easily one of my favorite looks of the entire evening. And usually I don't even like puffer jackets that much, but the fact that they gave this a train is just so fun. Not only does this look like something that Rei Kawakubo would actually design, but it looks like something she would actually wear. Next is Chrissy Teigen in Marchesa. If you've seen any of my other Met Gala reviews, then you know how I feel about naked dresses, and this is not changing my mind. It honestly kind of looks like she was just rolling around in a pile of lint, and something about it just makes her proportions look a little bit off. Next is Halle Berry in Versace. This technically isn't a naked dress because it's actually a catsuit. I don't really love the base of the outfit, but I do feel like the three-dimensional flower petals had a lot of potential. Just I wish that instead of gold, they'd done like red or pink or something. Next is Kylie Jenner in Versace. So I actually like this naked dress. I'm just as surprised as you are. It is very recognizable as Versace, just in the fact that it's very sparkly and figure hugging, but the color and the 3D flowers does feel appropriate for the theme. My only qualm is actually the styling. I feel like she looks a little bit washed out. Next is Kendall Jenner in La Perla. This might seem too sexy for the theme, but there's actually something about this shapelessness that I feel is really on brand. Next is Kim Kardashian in Vivienne Westwood. I don't know how she managed to make Vivienne Westwood look boring, but she did it. It honestly just looks like something that she would wear to Nobu. Next is Madonna in Moschino. The camouflage print reads as so American that it just doesn't even remind me of the theme at all. It looks cheap and gaudy and is just all over the place. There's way too many accessories. I hate it. Next is Zendaya in Dolce & Gabbana. This is very Dolce, but I love the volume and the styling. I don't know if it's a great representation of the theme, but it's very pretty. Next is Cara Delevingne in Chanel. I don't really mind this whole starburst silver print thing that's happening. I just don't really love the fit of the suit, and in general, it's just giving Tin Man. Next is Rihanna in Comme des Garçons. Obviously, since this is from the brand, it's gonna be on theme, but my God, does she look amazing. Besides the dress itself just being a technical marvel, I also think that the styling just completely nails it. The hair, the makeup, the shoes, 10 out of 10. Next is Karlie Kloss and Carolina Herrera. I get the logic behind this with the colors and the androgyny and the silhouette. My God, it's so boring. Something about it actually kind of reminds me of what she wore to the camp theme. Not because they look anything alike, but just how confident she is while being very off. Next is Hailey Bennett in Dolce & Gabbana. Again, this is very Dolce. The only thing that kind of makes it feel on theme are the florals and the very nude pink color. I do think the headpiece might be a little bit much, but overall, it's still pretty. Next is Elle Fanning in Miu Miu. I always love when she wears stuff like this because she really looks like a little fairy princess. I do think that this is really pretty, but I question how on theme it is. Next is Lily Rose Depp in Chanel. The actual dress is very pretty, but I feel like the flower appliques were just an afterthought. Next is Zoe Kravitz in Oscar de la Renta. The fact that they used real flowers is really creative, but all I can look at is the wrinkles. I just really wish they'd gone in there with a steamer beforehand. Also, I think pink hair would have been really cute. Next is Kerry Washington in Michael Kors. I really like this patchwork, which has all these different patterns and textures. It's interesting, but not an eyesore, which is how I would describe a lot of Rei Kawakubo's designs. Next is Lena Dunham in Elizabeth Kennedy. I really like this actually. I love the layers, the volume, and the stripes that are accented with that solid black. And I'm pretty sure that she's also short, but as you can see, she doesn't look like she's drowning in all of this fabric. Next is Selena Gomez in Coach. It's pretty, it's simple, it's subdued. Coach can be messy at the Met Gala, so honestly, she lucked out. Next is Riley Keough in Louis Vuitton. Maybe it's just me, but it's kind of giving Michael Jackson, which is pretty ironic considering he was her stepfather. I will say I can see where the Rei inspiration is, but I feel like they should have just held back a tiny bit because it looks like there's way too much going on. Next is Katie Holmes in Zac Posen. This is beautiful construction. I love the color, I love the texture. It's hugging every single curve. This is amazing. Next is Dutz & Kraus in Brock Collection. Something about this reminds me of what Rei actually wears. It's like very simple and down to earth and comfortable with like some hidden details and difficult little quirks. Next is Priyanka Chopra in Ralph Lauren. I don't hate the concept of this, I just feel like they didn't push it far enough. Instead of this giant train, I feel like a really skin-tight skirt with like super padded hips would have just looked a little bit more Rei. Next is Sophie Turner in Louis Vuitton. I hate the double leg slits and the weird boob lace circle design. Admittedly, Rei does play around with a lot of textures, it's kind of her signature, but she does it a lot better than this. I feel like this exact same dress, but just in a solid print, would have looked way nicer. Next is Tracee Ellis Ross in Comme des Garçons. Tracee is a fashion girly, so it doesn't even surprise me that she totally killed it. It's so simple compared to what other people are wearing, but it just captures the vibe perfectly. She is wearing the brand, which some people might argue is cheating, but I think that she's just doing what she should. Next is Lily Collins in Giambattista Valli. This is super similar to what Hailey Bieber wore, but I just feel like she did it so much better. And I think that has a lot to do with the styling because that edginess just really feels a little bit more Rei. Next is Daisy Ridley in Oscar de la Renta. Simple, classic. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Next is Katy Perry in Maison Margiela. So I really want to like this, but I feel like the veil is just so distracting, which is a shame because the actual dress looks really interesting. Last is Claire Danes in Monse. This is another one of my favorites from the entire evening. I love the ruffles, the train, the turned up collar, the kind of flared hemlines on the pants. Even the shoes go really, really well. My only qualm is the hair and makeup. Something about it just doesn't really play well with the rest of the look, but otherwise, very solid. Which celebrity had your favorite look at the 2017 Met Gala? That's it for this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!